Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a story that's as old as time but as relevant as ever. It's a classic tale that teaches a powerful lesson about strength, persuasion, and human nature. We are talking about the fable of the north wind and the sun. Imagine, high above the clouds, two celestial giants were having a debate. The north wind, blustery and proud, boasted, "I am the most powerful force in the world. Nothing can stand against my might. When I blow, trees bend, oceans roar, and even the strongest structures tremble." He puffed out his chest, a swirl of cold air gathering around him. The sun, warm and serene, listened patiently. A gentle, golden light emanated from her as she replied, "Brute force isn't everything, my friend. True strength lies in gentleness and persuasion." The wind scoffed. Gentleness? Persuasion? Those are words for the weak. Strength is about power, pure and simple. I can prove it to you right now. Just then, they looked down at the earth and saw a lone traveler walking along a winding road. He was wrapped in a thick, warm cloak to shield himself from the chill in the air. "Aha!" exclaimed the wind. "Let's have a contest. Whichever one of us can make that man take off his cloak will be declared the stronger of the two." The sun, with a knowing smile, agreed. "Very well. You go first." She gracefully retreated behind a fluffy white cloud, giving the stage entirely to the north wind. Gathering all his might, the wind took a deep, deep breath and let out a ferocious blast. Whoosh! A furious gale swept across the land. It howled through the trees, kicking up dust and leaves. The air turned icy cold. The traveler on the road shivered, feeling the sudden, brutal assault of the cold. But did he take off his cloak? No, in fact, he did the opposite. He clutched his cloak even tighter, pulling the fabric close around his neck and chin. He hunched his shoulders and leaned into the gale, determined to protect himself from the biting cold. The wind was stunned. This wasn't supposed to happen. He blew harder, with even more fury. He summoned gusts so powerful they nearly knocked the traveler off his feet. The world seemed to be caught in a frozen whirlwind, but the traveler, resolute, only wrapped his cloak more securely around his body. The more the wind raged, the more the man resisted, holding onto his only source of warmth. Exhausted and defeated, the north wind finally gave up. He had thrown everything he had at the man, but his cloak remained firmly in place. Humbled, he turned to the sun. "I cannot do it," he admitted, his voice now just a whisper. Then, it was the sun's turn. She emerged from behind the cloud, and her presence immediately changed the atmosphere. She didn't roar or blast. Instead, she simply began to shine. At first, it was a gentle, pleasant warmth that chased away the lingering chill left by the wind. The traveler on the road felt the change instantly. The icy cold was replaced by a comforting warmth on his back. He relaxed his shoulders and loosened his grip on his cloak. The world around him seemed to sigh in relief as the sun's golden rays bathed the landscape. The sun continued to shine, her beams growing steadily warmer and brighter. It wasn't an aggressive heat, but a persistent, gentle radiance. Soon, the traveler began to feel a bit too warm. He unfastened the top button of his cloak, letting the pleasant air touch his skin. As the sun's warmth intensified, the traveler started to perspire. The thick cloak, which was his savior just moments ago, now felt heavy and stifling. It was becoming uncomfortable. He slowed his pace, wiped his brow, and finally, with a sigh of relief, he shrugged the cloak completely off his shoulders, carrying it over his arm as he continued his journey. High above, the sun beamed, not with pride, but with a gentle wisdom. She looked at the north wind and said, "You see, gentleness and kindness achieved what force and fury could not. Persuasion is often far more powerful than compulsion." This simple story holds such a profound truth. Think about our own lives. When we try to force someone to change their mind or do something through anger, threats, or aggression, what usually happens? They resist. They dig in their heels, just like the traveler clutching his cloak. It's human nature to push back against force. But when we approach others with kindness, patience, and warmth, we create an environment where they feel safe to let their guard down. We invite them to change, rather than demanding it. A kind word, a patient explanation, or a warm smile can melt away resistance in a way that a storm of anger never could. This applies everywhere in our families, with our friends, at work, and even in how we talk to ourselves. Trying to bully yourself into being better rarely works, but treating yourself with the same gentle persistence as the sun, that's where real, lasting change happens. So the next time you face a challenge or a disagreement, remember the north wind and the sun. Ask yourself, am I blowing a cold wind, or am I shining a warm light? The answer could make all the difference. True strength isn't about how loud you can shout, but about the warmth you can share. Thank you so much for joining me for this story today. I hope it gave you something valuable to think about. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next one. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Has gentleness ever worked for you where force failed? Until next time, shine on.